Alright, so all these clips are actually filmed from April 10, 2022. It's the day I finally decided that I'm going to learn the backside Bigspin, which is a trick. It's not that hard, but it's also not the easiest. But I've been skating for 2 years and I never landed one. So I think it's because the board is spinning 360 and your body's turning 180, the blind side, the backside. So it makes this trick quite difficult to land if you've never done it before. Also, it takes a certain level of commitment to it. So I watched some videos on how to do it on YouTube, and I took some time off from my weekend to go and try this trick. Okay, so at the beginning of the video, the clips were showing some shove-its and backside 180s, which are prerequisites, and also just some warm-up tricks. So here I'm actually starting to try it. I didn't really have any trouble spinning it 180 degrees. 360. I don't know what happened here, but in general, I had no issues doing the 360 shove it part. It's just that after the 360 shove it and the 180 body pivot, I just couldn't land back with both feet. It's either the front foot or the back foot. So just as I'm saying that, here I just shinned myself and with the board, which really hurts. But anyway, so I tried this for like, I would say 2 hours on the first day. I went back the next day. Later you'll see I have a different outfit. So yeah. Okay, so I sped this up because majority of these look the same. It just looked like the first couple of tries I did. Basically, I could get it to spin, get my body to spin, but I couldn't predict where I was going to land, so I couldn't land with both feet on the board. It was always the back foot, mainly the back foot. So also there was a commitment issue. I couldn't commit to landing bolts or landing both foot on the board because it's quite scary to have your board spin under you so much, and then whilst your body is also spinning and in a blind side way, which means you can't really predict where you're going to land. You're just turning and trusting yourself that you're going to land 180. Okay, so I think this is the first time I actually landed both on the board, and as I expected, I slipped out really bad. So the next couple of tries, I got over the commitment part, the commitment issue part. The only issue is I'm not turning hard enough so that I can get that full 180 body spin and the full 360 shove it spin, which causes me to land in this weird angle and slip out every time. Okay, so as you can tell, the outfit has changed. This is the next day. I came back again. Actually, I think this is a week later, not the next day, sorry. Anyway, so I had to get over that whole committing to the trick again. Because you lose confidence after you don't try it for a while. So this is what I did, same thing, but instead of trying to land with my back foot this time, I tried spinning my body the full 180 and catching it with my front foot this time, because I noticed that I had issues catching it with my front foot last time. So this is how I try to force myself to do it properly on this day. Okay, so here I was barely able to just get both feet on the board again. So that sort of gave me a bit of confidence. I did cut out like a huge number of tries here, because they all pretty much ended up in the same way. They all look the same, so I didn't bother editing them or just putting them in a video, because it's just gonna be a waste of time. So okay, so after a lot of those failed attempts, this is the first time I actually somewhat landed it. It's not really a big spin, but at least I didn't fall. I got the board to spin like 270 and my body to turn like 90. But yeah, it's the closest I've ever gotten. And that led to a couple more tries that got pretty close to the actual thing. But the issue is pretty clear that every time I landed it, I'm not spinning the full way, which makes me just come to a complete halt and does not roll away whatsoever. So I knew I had to turn more. I knew I had to shove the board more, put my back foot probably closer to the back bolts. But yeah, but when I was on the spot, when I was at that time, I just didn't think about so much, and I was also really tired. I was probably trying for like over an hour, close to 2 hours already. So yeah. So as I was saying, skating is definitely not an easy thing to do, and especially if you're trying for like 1 or 2 hours at a time, just non-stop, one after the other. It gets very tiring and it gets very frustrating as well. So yeah, so after a few tries, I mean, all my tries basically look like these. Like I could pretty much land on them with both foot. I just can't balance, or I just can't roll away. Yeah, so after a bit, it got pretty frustrating and pretty mentally straining, also physically. So after a bit, you start to lose the confidence of committing to the trick, and you just couldn't put both foot on again. You can't you can't force yourself to spin that full 180 or make the board spin that full 360. So the trick just got harder and harder. As you can tell, these tries became kind of worse as we progressed, and yeah. So I remember taking a short break after that last try, and this is when Iris started and tried it a few more times just before I had to go home. So here I'm starting to really force myself to commit. So at least you can tell that I'm trying very hard to get my body to spin the full backside 180, and trying to land at least both foot on. But a lot of these are still, kind of 90-ish, and the board is turning 270-ish, which is not really helpful. But I mean, and here I almost hit my face with the board. Yeah, so not really, but I kind of blocked it with my hands. Anyways, yeah, so I gave it a few more tries, didn't have any luck, and fell a lot more times. That one actually, I remember it kind of hurt. But yeah, there was a few more skaters that actually came skating that day. But unfortunately, I've already skated for like way too long, and I was too tired, so I just went home. Yeah, so actually the reason why I just edited this and decided to post it and voice over it is because the whole time I thought I was going to go back and try the trick again and probably land it a lot better, probably land it actually clean. But I haven't skated in a long time, and now I'm stuck at home with COVID. And I also had shin splint lately, so I haven't been skating for a very, very long time. And yeah, so I have nothing to do at home, might as well just edit it and post it as it is, as of now. Maybe in the future I'll go try it again, but I don't know, we'll see.